Hello, my name is Mark and welcome to I'm Organic Gardening. I have a 22-acre farm and also a large backyard garden that I grow nothing but organic methods on this. Now, the sunflowers behind me that we're going to be talking about is the best thing to add to your garden. Even if you just grow one sunflower, it is going to improve so many ways in your garden, and I'm going to go over those in more details later on. But right now, I want to show you this beautiful field of sunflowers because it's magnificent. Right behind me, I'm growing these sunflowers for seeds that I sell organically to people in my area because they can eat them because it's an edible sunflower seed and it's a very large sunflower seed called gray stripe. So I want to show you this beautiful field, and behind this I'm also growing cut sunflowers that I also sell to make income on my homestead or in my home, and also on my farm. So I'm going to get into it a little bit more, but I want to show you this magnificent field before it goes away when they're done blooming, and just cheer up your day a little bit and talk a lot about these sunflowers, because again, if you're not growing them, you're not enhancing nature to come into your garden as much as you should. I'm sure you're trying to do a great job by doing it what you can, but sunflowers are the ultimate plant to kind of grow, and I'll tell you why. And it also builds soil for you. It brings in all kinds of things to your little homestead or to your small backyard garden. So I'm about 6'4", and these sunflowers are about 7 to 8 feet tall. They're just amazing. I just stepped into a hole here. Sorry about that. But let's go over it. So this beautiful sunflower field, like I mentioned, is about anywhere from 300 to 400 feet long. I forgot to measure it, but I'm just going to estimate because it's magnificent. And these sunflowers, like I says, are easily up to 7 to 8 feet tall, and you can see how gorgeous they are. Now, I use no fertilizer, synthetic or man-made or manure or anything else, and that's how you can tell your soil is very good and you're growing soil. Growing soil is simply by continuing to keep a living root in the ground. These sunflower roots are massive. They will break apart clay soil. They will do everything for you that you can imagine to enhance your soil better. That's the first benefit of growing sunflowers in your garden, and also next to your tomato plants, because they are just magnificent soil, let's say, enhancers, because those roots go down so deep. I did not irrigate this. I planted them in dry clay, hard clay soil, because in the beginning of the year we had high temperatures and no rain, and then it turned around and that rain came back, and we get rain at least 3 to 4 times a week, and at least 1 inch to 2 inches per week, and sometimes up to 5 inches per week. But that's why I want to get into it. Your soil is living. Anytime you have some magnificent soil that started from just nothing, it is due to the living organisms in that soil, the bacteria and fungi, and then the protozoas and nematodes that eat that soil and continue to enhance and release nutrients to the plants. And that's what these sunflowers are doing and gathering. They're also gathering one important thing: sunshine. Now, that beautiful sunshine is enhancing it, and that is the building block to soil, because with that sunshine, through photosynthesis, is that you can take these sunflowers, bring in carbon from the outside air, CO2, that's right, that bad thing that everybody talks about that's in our atmosphere, and puts it back in the soil as liquid carbon or carbon. And that is also a building block to great soil. And now that's what people are lacking in there. They always think organic matter is a great thing, but you need carbon in your soil too to enhance it. Now you can see here, that's one of the nice benefits to it is our bumblebees. These are our native bumblebees that are doing a great job. And you can just hear this whole field just buzzing with life from these beautiful bumblebees. And also there's honeybees too. Actually, my farmer that lives behind me has bought some beehives to collect the honey from all my sunflowers that I plant on my farm, so he can sell that also too. I don't do that anymore. It's a lot of work, and I appreciate the sharing of nectar and pollen with all the other farmers in the area. So here's a close-up of one of the sunflower heads that is expanding already. This is the gray stripe variety that I got from Johnny Seeds, and eventually this will all fall off naturally here. Now you can see all the seeds that are starting here. Look at all of that. So what I do is I let this mature, and it will mature over time, and it will hang down, and then like so, which it's doing already because it's very heavy, but these seeds will mature into edible sunflower seeds. And what I do is I cut this head. I don't take the seeds out of it by any means, and later on in the year I'll show you a better how I harvest the sunflower heads, but all these will turn like a dark gray stripe. And also that I cut this sunflower head and I sell this for $1, and I'll easily sell anywhere from let's say 1,500 to 2,000 of them and make a nice income from my farm just by not even separating the sunflower seeds, but I cut the whole sunflower head and I sell it. So how good is that? Nice and easy, and you don't have to store them and dry them someplace too long, about maybe just a week or two. So if you have a barn or a chicken coop and else too, and they make great chicken feed also too. Something, if you have chickens, you want to sell that to, or give that to your chickens, or you can sell it to other chicken farms like I do also too. The other sunflower heads I don't sell for seeds, I sell them to a chicken farm. So he has organically, because they're organically grown, organic food for his chickens, and they pick them apart. So it's something else to think about. So I walk to the front of the field where the sunflower starts, and you can see these tall sunflowers, and those are ones I grow for seed, those gray stripes like I mentioned before. Now I have back here on the back side of the field, or to the right of the field depending which way you look at it, I have all these beautiful cut sunflowers, which are much shorter, and they're only about, let's say, 4 feet tall. We cut them with a 3-foot stem, and those are doing gorgeous also too. We're going to come in here. I get about 10 people that I hired part-time to come in, and we cut them. We put them in large garbage pails, and we put them on a tractor trailer that's 40 feet long, and they bring at least, let's say, I think the order that we have is 2,500 for right now for a cut. So we'll cut 2,500 stems and put them in garbage pails, and then they'll take them down and deliver to the farm stands along the roadways that go down to, let's say, the shore points that people are renting their houses. And they sell these like gold. They sell these to people that are going down to the shore house for a vacation for a week or 2 weeks, and they just grab them up because they want to go into that shore house with a beautiful vacation mode. And there's nothing like sunflowers. They sell them usually for $1 a piece, and anywhere people buy from anywhere from easily five stems with they buy other things in the store too, like the sweet corn, watermelon. Sunflowers and watermelon take second place, and then third place is tomatoes, believe it or not. But everybody goes for the sweet corn, and also the sunflowers and watermelon is second, and this gorgeous, gorgeous field just shows you how beautiful those at least maybe 10 sunflowers in a vase or a bucket on someone's table will last at least a week, and they'll do it fantastic and keep those people happy inside those shore houses on the rainy days and when they get back out to the beach again. In this variety here, I want to mention that too, I get from Johnny Seeds. They are the Pro Cut varieties, and they're just gorgeous. Now there's all different types of sunflowers. These are single stems. There's some bunch flowering stems in there too, but you can see how beautiful this sunflower field is. And imagine cutting all these sunflowers, at least 2,500 of them, and put them in large garbage pails and then deliver them down to shore points where people are driving into the islands or down to the beach, and they just love buying this. It's a great road stopper. People, they'll put at least 3 or 4 garbage pails out front with the sunflowers in it, and people will pick from them, and they have to refill them probably every let's say 5 or 10 minutes easily on very busy days when everybody's heading down for shore traffic. Just gorgeous. And when we cut them, we just strip the leaves off the stem, right from the top down. We usually leave 2 leaves at the top, and then we start at this end and just work our way right down to the other end, cutting every single flower that we can have, that you can see here. That is just insane, and all the bees all the bees go crazy, but that's why we do it at night, so we don't get stung, and usually all the bees are back home enjoying their little nests or hives. This is one of the perfect times to cut them. They have been watered from a rain last night, and they're just adequately filled with it. And also too, that they're just at the right peak time. People don't want these sunflowers to be closed up. They want them open as much as possible. And you can see there's other varieties, and you can notice here that the sunflowers have a yellow center in it. That's what most of the sunflowers are today, is pro cut. They're yellow on yellow. If you remember sunflowers, they used to be yellow with a black center, but people rather have all yellow sunflowers lately. So the other thing I want to mention, when you grow sunflowers for seed, like edible seeds for us to eat, and that's when I'm back on the other side of this field, you're also enhancing, and you should leave a couple sunflowers for the birds to come in later in the fall when these are harvestable and the seeds are edible also for the birds. Why do we want to give them to the birds? Because the birds bring in all the bacteria and fungi on their feet, and I'm talking good. There's all different kinds of fungi. There's only 2% bad fungi and 2% bad bacteria that is let's go after your plants in the garden. 98% of the fungi and the bacteria in this world are good, and that's to enhance soil and keep the soil living. So what this sunflower does, it brings in those beautiful birds, and they'll eat the seeds and they'll leave their droppings on it. And inside their droppings, what I'm showing here on the leaf, when it rains, that dropping will, let's say, re-moisturize again and fall to the ground. And inside it are all, let's say, fungi spores. And those spores will grow fungi, and that's what we need in our soil. So that's also another enhancing, beautiful fact that all birds, believe it or not, and also inside this bird poo is also maybe a worm that it ate, and those worms contain all the great things that your soil needs to flourish and revitalize again. So if you're trying to get some birds in your garden, if they eat a tomato and they poop, don't worry about it, because they just did you a favor. I know they ate your tomato and you're angry about them, but also you're also bringing in that good bacteria and fungi once again also to your garden that you need here. And now imagine this whole field of sunflowers that we see here. All this is done by living microbes in your soil. This is a great thing. There is no fertilizer I added to this, like I also mentioned before several times, but I want you to understand this. This is living soil growing. This is not me doing anything special to soil. This is just nature, what it's always been doing from day one in this beautiful planet that we have here. And don't panic. It's all because you don't have living microbes in your soil if you're not getting a beautiful garden. But this is a testament to it, that look at this. I didn't irrigate this. Yes, we had a lot of rain this year, but even when I don't have rain, you can go back in other videos. These sunflowers grow because they have a great root system, and they're taking that bacteria and fungi in the soil, giving it carbon, growing it and feeding it. I'm not feeding the soil a fertilizer per se, I'm feeding it nature. And what that nature is doing is taking carbon out of the air, and that carbon is feeding the soil. So you don't need fertilizer, you don't need manure, you don't need even compost. Those are great things to do it to get the microbes started. But if you how would I even possibly take this field and throw down all the compost? This is like it says anywhere from 300 to 400 feet long and about 300 feet wide also too. Now it would cost me a small fortune to fertilize it with anything, whether it's inorganic or organic, and I did nothing with this. And that's how I maintain my farm, and that's how I make an income, because farming is not easy by any means, and you have to have diversity. And this is one of the diversities that I have here, that I can sell sunflowers to other people nearby, and I make them a good deal. I don't sell them expensively, and they're always come back to me. I've had these customers for over 10 years now. So So I'm going to take this very tall sunflower at the edge of the field here right in front of me, and we're going to go down right to the bottom here and pull out that sunflower, and I want to show you the root system, how well it grows right here at the base. See if I'm strong enough this morning. I had my coffee, and this sunflower is again got to be at least 8 feet tall. Nice thick stem on it. Oh, here we go. There we go. There we go. There it is. That's what we want to see. Let me get back over here. A lot of groundhog holes. Groundhogs love to grow or dig holes in this area because they're sheltered. So you can see here it's about 1 foot in diameter and about 8 inches thick. That's sunflower root. And let me go over here and let's see what we got. Just shake this off a little bit. And you can see those roots making soil aggregates. I don't have any worms in here yet. It's pretty much in the field, but you can see how these roots that are very thick just break this all apart and keep all that, let's say, together. And those are soil aggregates that are also growing too with fungi in the soil. And that is the secret to beautiful soil that you can have the rest of your life in the garden, is to keep that soil alive by opening it up and letting oxygen, which is very important, just as much as water in your soil. I want to thank you so very much for watching this video today. Give it a good thumbs up, and I'll see you again with another video. We're going to go over some electroculture videos in the future. I'm working on them, and I found some great results. And also enjoy these beautiful sunflowers. Watch the video a few times. If you have a rainy day, it will brighten your day up immensely. I'll talk to you again shortly, and thanks for watching.